21st Century Entrepreneurship with Martin Piskarik.
How did you come to specialize in link building, but as well, could you explain what link building is and those two letters DR?
Yeah, absolutely. So to answer the first question, this was kind of a happy accident in a way that me and my partner, Greg Heilers, who started Jolly SEO, we stumbled on SEO and in particular link building as a specific niche. Now, maybe 5-6 years ago, we partnered up doing content production. So blog writing, very straightforward type of business model. And what we discovered is through doing that kind of content, people were very interested in doing backlink insertions in the content. So a backlink being just a hyperlink that links out to a specific website or page. People like to have backlinks on authoritative websites linking to their site. And the reason is simple. It's because Google will see that this backlink exists and it will attribute more authority to your website so that when people then type in a search that's relevant to your business is going to be more likely to show up in the top results. That's the purpose of backlinking. And so, as I was saying, a lot of our clients who we worked with on content were interested in this. They're interested in the SEO, search engine optimization value of the content pieces. And so what we discovered is that the SEO and the backlinking was what people were more interested in, at least our particular clients. And so we started slowly pivoting towards doing backlinks in particular. And the way that happened was my partner, Greg, was working with a client. This client has this strategy he uses to earn backlinks for his website. And it's through using a journalist outreach platform like Help a Reporter Out. And so on these platforms, journalists, bloggers, they're looking for people to help with their content. And so in exchange, if you submit some good, a quote as a CEO, anyone in an authoritative position, they might use it and then give a backlink to your website. We were able to transition this into a model that we could then sell to our clients. And at that point, we just started phasing out content and focusing on developing backlinks. And to answer your second, or was it third question about what is DR? So DR is a term that is used in the SEO, again, search engine optimization community, to place a certain value on a publication's backlink. So if a publication has a high DR, and that's called domain rating, then getting a backlink from that site is going to be more valuable for your website. So when we do backlinks for clients, we always strive to place them on a website with a high DR. And it's a 0 to 99 scale, but generally anything in the 70s, 80s, 90s is going to be a site that you want linking to yours.
So one general question, how important is it for businesses to have an online presence today at the first place?
I would say it's very important. And it's interesting you ask because our business really peaked up when it actually coincided with when COVID was reaching its peak. And I think this was a point where a lot of businesses realized, we really want to increase our online presence. We can't just rely on word of mouth. A lot of stores in the United States certainly were closed down. People still wanted to maintain a presence or sell their product online. And so there was a gigantic boom in this. It really helped us out. But in this day and age, even if you're a local business, you really need to have some kind of SEO strategy going on, because the way people find any business nowadays is by searching for it in Google generally, or discovering it through social media. or occasionally referrals, but you always want to have your business or website up there on the top of the search results as best as is practical.
Can you go a little bit more into details? How can small businesses optimize their SEO strategy, especially in 2022?
Yeah, so there's a few things I would say a small business could take. That's what I would call very low-hanging fruit. The first thing I would always recommend for any business is to get a blog going. Now, this might just be you write an article a couple times a month. Maybe you pay someone to do the articles. I recommend always having a blogger do some of your content because it's hard to produce high quality content consistently while you're trying to run a business. But that's the first step, because without blog content, you're not going to be, Google has no way of ranking your website without content. That's really it. So that's the cornerstone of a good online presence and a good search strategy. If you're a small business owner, that might suggest you don't have a large budget to go and buy backlinks, backlinking being the other part, or the other major part of external search strategy. So you have your blogs, and then you have backlinks. So you might not be able to pay for them yourself. That's okay. If you're just a small local business, you could make sure your business is listed in directories. Make sure you get your address listed frequently, have a link to your site. You can also use platforms similar to what we do, which is help a reporter out, or there's other things like out there like Turkle, there's ProfNet, there's several of these. You can go on and submit quotes or snippets that you are giving to an article. You might get a backlink back. Definitely worth the time, I would say. And then the third thing is to make sure your website itself is optimized for SEO. Again, I'd recommend hiring a professional, at least for a one-off job. If you really are, again, you have time on your hands, strapped for money, there are plugins and extensions you can use on WordPress to help you do it yourself. But those three things I would say are, a step every business owner should take, even if they're relatively small.
And what your Help a Reporter Out platform is?
So that is a platform where journalists and bloggers submit what's called queries. And in a lot of articles that people write, they want to interview experts, not unlike what we're doing here, but in this case, this is just a quote or a paragraph they're trying to get to help their article that they're writing out. And it might be something like, according to so-and-so, the CEO at this company, and they'll add something. But the cool thing about it is it's a way to get yourself featured in an article on a high quality publication without paying for it. And you can go and make a free account and do it. We specialize in helping our clients do this. It does require a little bit of skill, but anyone can do it. So I recommend you try building backlinks and developing your PR through these platforms.
And now let's speak a little bit about you, Morgan. You have a baby. Congratulations.
Thank you. Yeah.
1 month.
1 month. Yep.
Are you still alive? How are you? How are you feeling?
I'm making it. I'm making it through. Just lots of coffee, and no. But really, I do spend a lot of time working at night now. That's just the reality. If anyone has a newborn, they are awake and every couple hours, so it's difficult, of course, but I just try to squeeze in a few hours here and there where I can, and of course be flexible with when I'm able to eat. And then I got the other 2 kids, so it's a lot, but it's definitely worth it.
And regarding your business, how much are you still involved into daily activities? What's your business model? How do you make money?
So our business model is simple. We make money creating backlinks for our clients, using the strategy I said before, and also using other strategies. The key thing is that we don't we like to use what we call organic strategies, which involves not paying for backlinks. But that's our model. We make money on each backlink we produce. And of course,
what kind of organization structure do you have? Do you use some specific project management method?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I can go into more detail about that. I mean, I'd start by explaining that this was mine and again, my partner, Greg Heiler's first business. So maybe this resonates with a lot of the listeners here. First business, nothing was pre-planned. I'll say that. We started just me and Greg getting a few writers and being that hands-on management, working with the writers one-on-one. And then as of course, as we start getting more clients, we grow our team of writers. Now, why I say this is not pre-planned is that it's almost was a bottom-up built business. We got the team of writers, then we hired a manager of sorts, and then we've added on positions as they needed. So it's been a big learning process. Right now, we have a writer manager, we have a operations manager that oversees all of our backlink products. We have a team of about, I'd say, generally between 25 to 30 writers. Of course, these are freelancers for the most part, so not all full-time, but we need people to manage them. They're from all around the world. We have a lot of writers actually, because of the nature of the type of writing we do, it needs to be people with a solid writing background. A lot of them are in Europe, the US, Canada, but we also have writers in other areas as well. We have some Ukrainians, we have a couple people in East Asia, so it's all over. And then outside of the writing, we also have a few VAs. I think for any business owner, I'd recommend always having a reliable VA or two on hand, because we like to think about it this way. Are the tasks you are doing as a business owner at work, are these $100 an hour tasks? Are these $50 an hour tasks? Are these $10 an hour tasks? And if you're finding yourself doing lots of $10 an hour tasks, that's why you want these VAs there. So that's one bit of advice I would always share. Keep a couple good VAs on hand to do data input, things in Google Sheets, Google Drives, whatever platform you use. We use a lot of Google Sheets for our product management, but we're actually transitioning to Airtable. If that's helpful.
Can you walk us through the process of how your platform helps businesses get free press?
Yeah, so earlier I was really talking more about our business Jolly SEO, but we actually have developed a platform called Link Sorcery. It's going to soon be rebranded to Pitch Response, but this was a product of us developing in-house at our SEO agency a tool for our team to optimize their outreach. And so we made that into a usable app that we now sell subscriptions to as Link Sorcery. And the idea there is that you can tap into the experience we've had as an agency and utilize that for yourself. So whatever your goals are in terms of, if you're looking for backlinks with a high DR, as we discussed earlier, if you're looking for backlinks that offer a specific type of backlink policy, I'm not going to go too much into that because, that's getting really granular, but not every backlink is weighted differently. Some might have what's called a no follow tag, which means Google won't attribute the same value. So if you want to know these things ahead of time before you try to get a backlink from a publication, we put that information there for you. And we make it in an easily searchable format, so you can search through all of the opportunities that journalists and bloggers are putting out there. And that's for a small business owner, it's a great subscription to have because it's not very costly and it can save you many thousands in what you would normally be paying for backlinks. But either way, even if you don't do it through our platform, you can always use like what I've talked about earlier, which is Help a Reporter Out, and that's a free platform that you can use. It's just a little more difficult to sift through by yourself if you're not experienced.
Any success stories that you can share?
Yeah, absolutely. I can talk about one of our first clients. I probably shouldn't drop the name, but to give, a little bit of a background, this is a website that's what we call an affiliate website, meaning they put up content and they make their money by people clicking on ads and, eventually buying a product and getting a commission. And they're in the finance niche. This is a guy who Greg and I personally known on Facebook, so he's kind of a friend, and he was one of the ones that gave our new backlink service a real try. He was one of the first ones. So, again, I'd always recommend for business owners when you're trying out a new service, work with people you know or trust on the initial release, and then get feedback. You might not make a lot of money right off the bat, but it's super valuable down the line. But anyway, so he had come to us. He was doing very well with his search traffic, but he was mostly doing his backlink building through purchased backlinks on sites that were maybe a bit sketchy. There was a lot of that going on. He wanted it to give it a shot with us using a very organic model where we're contributing content that people actually want. And so we had seen his traffic to his website go up. We parted ways at one point. We're just, we said, thank you. We're trying to, we have to increase the price on our product. But thanks for working with us in the beginning of our release. And so he leaves us. He ends up doing quite a bit of renovation on his backlinks, in terms of removing some of those ones that were lower quality. And he had definitely struggled through some of the Google updates that had occurred afterwards. But we talked to him recently again. He came back and he said that you guys, the backlinks that you developed for my website were the ones that we didn't end up removing those. Those are the ones we kept because they stood the test of time with Google's algorithms the best. And so he's actually come back to us. He pays for the links at our current price, and his traffic is doing better than ever. And it's an absolute pleasure to work with. So, of course, that made me and Greg very happy to see that this is someone who, he genuinely sees value in what we're doing and has realized the results. Really, anybody can be our client. I should say almost anybody. We do have some exceptions, if it's we have
Federal Bureau of Investigation, for example. That would not be your client.
No. The ones we've had trouble working with are gambling websites, because people a lot of times they don't want to associate their website with certain websites by backlinking to them. But generally, we can take a creative angle on almost anything. Like, you could be selling toaster ovens online, and we can find a way to spin it to be relevant. The key thing is just focusing on the person, not the company. If you're a CEO or business owner with insights to give, we can, find a place for you no matter what you sell.
How solid is your model? Are there any concerns?
I think to be fair, there are always concerns in the SEO and digital marketing world. It's a rapidly changing arena, and it's what is true one year can change the next year, because we are not paying customers of Google. They can do whatever they want to alter how they rank websites on their search. So, like I say, it's always a game of trying to guess what Google values more than others. We believe that our model is safe because, again, we don't purchase backlinks for clients off of sketchy or websites that sell backlinks. These are the kinds of things that Google is always looking for to penalize or remove the value from. So that is the approach that we think is the safest. So that's definitely that going for our business model. And I believe it will stand the test of time. I don't think backlinks are going away. at all anytime soon, not especially not completely. But yeah, I hope that's helpful.
What about AI for all of us in the digital world? Do we need to be afraid? Do we need to be happy for the systems like Jasper, for example?
Yeah, no, that's actually a very good question. Thanks for asking it. I'll say this. When we work with someone who helps us with our marketing, our cold marketing, and he had told us a couple of years ago about, hey guys, we can start doing AI videos, to get, what very much more customized appearing content out in cold emails. And, we kind of brushed it aside like, okay, that's cool, but it's a little bit kooky. I don't know if that's for us. Well, I'll say this now, we are actually doing it for our own emails. I shouldn't say that, but in case you get a video from us, but we use it is a tool. It's very practical because there's simply no way that I can sit down and do a customized video for 500 leads. It's not going to happen. And there are limits to it. But I think it's something to embrace, not be afraid of. And, you mentioned Jasper, and there's lots of platforms that do AI generated content as well, not just videos. And that's an exciting area. We tend to shy away from it just because we do want to stick to the promise of our content that being handwritten, but there are possibilities. It's definitely a lot of possibilities. I know there are people trying it. I'm curious to see how it goes over in terms of conducting outreach for the purpose of SEO and backlinks using AI. But it's an exciting field, and I think with all digital marketing, SEO, anything really business related, no matter where your business is in, if you want to maintain an online presence, you can't be afraid of these things. They're gonna become a commonplace development, and I have no doubt AI is going to be a tool that 5 years from now we're all using in some, or at least your marketing team is using in some level. So better to embrace it now while it's early than wait 5 years and be behind everybody else. The people aspect of your business is what's irreplaceable or most difficult to replace. So if your business model is strictly based on something that anyone can do using a tool, you're not going to be around too long. I'd actually like to kind of go down that road a little bit more with tools like Jasper and other people doing their outreach or their service through it. And it is a great tool for people or teams that maybe they're not native English speakers. But at the end of the day, if your team is relying on a tool, you're taking away one of the most important aspects of a business or a company, which is that people aspect, the team, which is really hard to replicate. And so this is a reason, even though some of our competitors out there use these AI tools to pitch to journalists and bloggers to get client backlinks for their clients, we're really not too worried about that, because at the end of the day, we have our highly trained writing team that is very hard to replicate. We would know, Greg and I have spent so many hours and in frustration too, trying to manage these people and get them to the place we are, but we're really proud of what we've done. And so that's why I'd also say, if you are considering approaching a service that is, for backlinks or doing outreach, I would avoid the AI-based teams and go to teams that can actually do custom outreach for you rather than just pulling off of snippets off the internet, these type of things. You're going to get better results, and at the end of the day, it's your name that's going out there. So you want everything to be top quality and really considered by a person rather than just computer generated.
Morgan Taylor in 5 years, help a reporter out in 5 years. My last question.
Okay, interesting. Yeah. As far as myself, like I said, we've already I partnered with Greg yet again on our Link Sorcery, soon to be Pitch Response app. We'd love to take that to a place that where it's a market share leader in terms of an outreach tool. I think a lot of business owners would resonate here. I'd like to be not involved in the operations side of my business on a day-to-day level. I think we can do that in fewer than 5 years, but as of now, we're still heavily involved in the product and the quality and that sort of stuff. I love doing sales calls. It's just something of a passion of mine. So I could see myself still doing that in 5 years. But really, I'd like to have this as more of a lifestyle business and be doing something else. To me, as much happiness as it gives me to continue to serve our clients, it's always the most exciting part of a business. The most difficult, but also most exciting, is starting something new and that beginning of the business where you can really have so much impact on the product and on the clients you work with. So I'd love to be doing something new, probably in the marketing space. And definitely no more kids. 3 is enough. So if in 5 years I have a 4th or 5th kid, then I'll have let myself down there. But yeah, that's where I'd like to be. As far as help a reporter out, that platform, I mean, who can say? All I can do is go back to what I had said earlier, that when it comes to SEO and marketing, it's very unpredictable. That method of that platform and that method of getting PR and backlinks and features has been around for quite a while now, actually a really long time in terms of digital marketing life. I mean, to be around 10, 15 years is incredible in this space. They've been around that long. And I think they'll be around another 5 years, but who can say? All I can say is if they're not, we will have adjusted to continue to provide our goal of an organically produced high quality backlink using other platforms. So I'd like to circle back to something I was saying earlier about the importance of maintaining your digital presence. And like I said, you want good content. You want to work on your website's internal optimization, but you also want backlinks. And personally, I recommend the strategy we're using as an excellent place to start. We've been doing this particular type of outreach for years now, and we were really the first in the industry to essentially productize this for clients. So when you go and you see other people saying they do outreach to Haro to help a reporter out, it's almost certain that they're actually imitating what we had started doing. And so I'd like to invite you to check out our website, jollyseo.co or linksorcery.com. And it's SOUCERY.com. So it's a bit of a play on words. And so that, again, would be our app you can use for yourself, or you can come to our jollyseo.co website and book a call. I'm happy to speak with you personally, but I'd love to see what we can do to get backlinks for your website and keep traffic coming on a consistent basis.
21st Century Entrepreneurship with Martin Piskarik.